The Calthran command fleet hung in the void like a constellation of predators, their warships bristling with weaponry that had conquered 17 star systems. Admiral Vexthor's compound eyes tracked the mysterious vessel on his holographic display, his mandibles clicking in frustration. "Still no identification signature?" he demanded. "None, Admiral," his tactical officer replied, her voice trembling. "The vessel defies all known physics. It's accelerating past our fastest interceptors without visible propulsion." Vexthor's translator struggled to process the crude markings on the ship's hull, 2 words in an unknown script, 2 names that meant nothing to the Calthran Empire: Evie and Felix. Inside the human courier ship Wandering Star, Evie gripped the navigation console as alarms blared around them. Her dark hair floated in the zero-gravity cockpit, sweat beading on her forehead despite the cooling systems running at maximum. "Felix, tell me you've got those coordinates locked," she said, her fingers dancing across the haptic interface. Felix didn't look up from his engineering station, his face illuminated by cascading data streams. "Working on it. Their gravity wells are playing havoc with our jump calculations. These Calthrans really don't want visitors." "Can't imagine why," Evie muttered, watching another wing of alien fighters peel away from the massive dreadnought. "We're only the first humans to stumble into their territory in 300 years. The Wandering Star wasn't built for combat. She was a courier vessel designed for speed and efficiency, carrying messages, small cargo, and the occasional desperate passenger across the outer colonies. But what the Calthrans didn't know, what their sophisticated sensors couldn't detect, was that human engineering had evolved in isolation for 3 centuries. While the Calthran Empire had conquered through superior firepower, humanity had survived through innovation born of necessity. "Incoming transmission," Felix announced. "They're demanding we power down and prepare for boarding." Evie's jaw tightened. She'd read the reports from the border worlds, heard the stories of what happened to ships that surrendered to Calthran patrols. Entire crews disappeared into labor camps, vessels stripped for technology, colonies erased from star maps. "Send them our standard greeting," she said. Felix raised an eyebrow. "The diplomatic one or the honest one?" "The one that buys us 30 seconds. As Felix transmitted their polite refusal, Evie's hands moved with practiced precision. The Wandering Star's engines hummed with barely contained power, a human innovation called the Cascade Drive. It didn't just push against space. It folded it, compressed it, made distance negotiable in ways that defied traditional physics. The Calthrans had antimatter engines. They had plasma cannons. They had shields that could withstand nuclear detonations, but they had never seen anything like this. "Jump calculations complete," Felix reported. "But Evie, we're cutting it close. Their tractor beams are trying to lock on." "How close?" "0.7 seconds close." Evie allowed herself a grim smile. "That's practically an eternity." On the Calthran flagship, Admiral Vexthor watched his tactical display with growing unease. The small vessel had just performed a maneuver that should have torn it apart, a 90-degree vector change at speeds that would liquefy any known species. "What are they?" he whispered. His science officer's voice was shrill with panic. "Admiral, their energy signatures are spiking. I'm detecting spatial distortion around their hull. They're attempting some kind of..." The Wandering Star vanished, not cloaked, not destroyed, simply gone, as if the universe had folded around it and stitched itself closed. Vexthor's primary heart skipped a beat. In 40 years of military service, he had never seen technology like this. The implications crashed down on him like a collapsing star. "Where did they go?" he roared. "Unknown, Admiral. We have no tracking data. No residual signature. They simply ceased to exist in this location. Backtrack their trajectory. Find their origin point." The tactical display rewound, tracing the vessel's path back through the system, beyond it through uncharted space, until, "Admiral," his navigator said quietly, "their point of origin is Sector 447 Gamma." The bridge fell silent. Every Calthran officer knew that designation. It was the Forbidden Zone, the quarantine sector, the region of space they had marked as containing a pre-spaceflight civilization 300 years ago. A species that had barely invented combustion engines when the Calthran scouts had last visited. Humans. Impossible. Vexthor breathed. They should still be planet-bound. They should be primitives, but the evidence was undeniable. While the Calthran Empire had expanded, grown complacent in its dominance, humanity had been evolving in isolation, adapting, innovating, building. The wandering star emerged from jump space near the human colony of New Rotterdam, its hull still warm from the transition. Evie and Felix sat in stunned silence for a moment, the adrenaline slowly fading from their systems. "We made it," Felix said, his voice hollow with disbelief. Evie nodded, her hands shaking slightly as she powered down the Cascade drive. "We need to report this. The Calthrans know we're here now. They know we're not primitives anymore. Think they'll come looking?" Evie gazed out at the stars, at the vast frontier that humanity had claimed while the galaxy's empires fought among themselves. "I think we just kicked the hornet's nest, Felix. And I think they're about to learn what happens when you underestimate a species that crawled up from a gravity well the hard way." Felix pulled up the communication array, preparing to send their report to Colonial Command. "Empire on edge?" "Empire on edge," Evie confirmed. "And we're just getting started."